In a minute, you're going to help me tell a story. And in the story, there's going to be a pair of pants and boots, big boots, and a shirt and gloves and a hat and a pumpkin head. Now, you may know this story. Perhaps I tell it a little bit differently, but you'll have a lot of fun if you just follow along. I want you to try to do the actions with me. All right? Sound good to you? Oh, you like my earrings. Why, thank you. If you have a chance, zoom in to see what I have on my ears. I'll be right back. Once upon a time, there was a little old lady who wasn't afraid of anything. One day, she went to the store to buy some milk and eggs, and she was on her way home when it started to get a little bit dark. She was doing fine when all of a sudden behind her, she heard a sound. Clomp, 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 clomp. It was a pair of boots, and they were going clomp, 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 clomp. She looked at those boots and she said, "You silly boots, I'm not afraid of you." And she continued walking, but behind her she could hear the boots going clomp, 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 clomp. She continued walking when all of a sudden she heard a sound behind her. Shake, 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 shake. She turned around and it was a pair of pants. And the pants were going shake, 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 shake. She turned around and looked at those pants and she said, "You silly pants, I'm not afraid of you." But behind her, she could still hear the boots going clomp, 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 and the pants going shake, 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 shake. Well, she continued walking a little faster when all of a sudden she heard a sound behind her. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. She turned around and it was a shirt, and the shirt was going wiggle, 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 wiggle. She looked at that shirt and she said, "You silly shirt, I'm not afraid of you." And so she continued walking on, but behind her she could hear the boots going clomp, 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 clomp. She could hear the pants going shake, 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 and she could hear the shirt going wiggle, 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 wiggle. Well, she continued walking along when all of a sudden she heard a sound behind her. Clap, 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 clap. She turned around and it was a pair of gloves, and the gloves were going clap, 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 clap. She looked at those gloves and she said, "You silly gloves, I'm not afraid of you." And she continued walking along a little faster. And behind her, she heard the boots going clomp, 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 clomp. She heard the pants going shake, 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 shake. She heard the shirt going wiggle, 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 wiggle. And she heard the gloves going clap, 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 clap. Well, she continued on her way when all of a sudden she heard a sound behind her. Nod, nod. She turned around and it was a hat, and it was going nod, nod. She looked at that hat and she said, "You silly hat, I'm not afraid of you." And so she continued on her way home, but behind her she could hear the boots going clomp, 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 clomp. She could hear the pants going shake, 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 shake. She could hear the shirt going wiggle, 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 wiggle. She could hear the gloves going clap, 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 clap. And she could hear the hat going nod, nod. Well, she continued on her way home when all of a sudden she heard a sound behind her. Boo, she heard. Oh, she almost didn't turn around, but she was a little old lady who wasn't afraid of anything. So she turned around and there was a big pumpkin head. And the pumpkin head was going boo, boo. Well, she looked at that pumpkin head and she said, "You silly pumpkin head, I'm not afraid of you." And she continued walking to her house. But behind her, she could hear the shoes going clomp, 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 clomp. She could hear the pants going shake, 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 shake. She could hear the shirt going wiggle, 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 wiggle. She could hear the gloves going clap, 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 clap. She could hear the hat going nod, nod. And she could hear the pumpkin head saying, "Boo, boo." Well, she got to her house and opened her door. She stepped into her house, closed the door with a slam. Boom. Then she set down her groceries and sat down in her rocking chair. She was almost asleep when all of a sudden she heard a knock at the door. "Who is it?" she said, because it was very late at night. On the other side of the door, she heard the boots going clomp, 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 clomp. She heard the pants going shake, 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 shake. She heard the shirt going wiggle, 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 wiggle. She heard the gloves going clap, 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 clap. She heard the hat going nod, nod. And she heard the pumpkin head going boo, boo. Well, she opened the door slowly, and she said to that entire outfit, "I'm not afraid of you." And when she said that, the pumpkin head started to cry. "You're not afraid?" "No, well, I'm the little old lady who's not afraid of anything." "Why are you crying?" "Oh," said the pumpkin head, "I just want to be able to scare somebody or scare something. That's what I'm supposed to be able to do, but it never works. Nobody's ever afraid of me. At least not any people." And the little old lady said, "I know how I can use all of you. The boots, the pants, the shirt, the gloves, the hat, and the pumpkin head. Come with me." And so Pumpkinhead followed the little old lady out to the cornfield. Well, she had been having some problems in the cornfield. In the cornfield, the crows had been trying to eat all the corn. Isn't that true? And the turkeys had been coming along and trying to eat a lot of the corn. And even the deer had been coming to eat a lot of her corn. And so she said, "You're the one. You're going to protect my corn." And she put that pumpkin head right in the middle of the cornfield with his boots and pants and shirt and his arms straight out. And every time a crow came along looking for a treat, Mr. Pumpkinhead would say, "Boo, boo," and the crow would fly away. And every time a turkey came along looking for a midnight snack, Mr. Pumpkinhead would say, "Boo, boo." Oh. And the deer didn't even bother. They thought it was a real person standing in the middle of the cornfield. And from then on, every single year, the little old lady who wasn't afraid of anything took out that beautiful scarecrow, Mr. Pumpkinhead, and they had all the corn they could eat. The end.